Hey, it's Jen from Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be your reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising for September 2019. We're talking about spiritual paths, awakenings, personal journeys, all that kind of stuff, kind of just relating to you. What do you have going on? That was weird. That flipped around crazy. You have the Devil coming up. Don't freak out. I actually really like to see this card. And the Six of Wands. This is awesome, Aquarius. All right, the Devil coming up. This is not like oogly boogly and scary. I love seeing this card, and I'll tell you why. Because this says, hey, you're going to have some old crap come resurface itself. You may not even expect it when it shows up, but you better be ready for it. And you know what? It's like I'll use an example. Like, let's say you quit drinking and you get invited to a party, and people are going to be drinking, and you're like, I got this, I'm good. All of a sudden you're there and you're like, everybody's having fun and they're having drinks, and you're thinking, maybe I'll have just one, and before you know it, you're drinking with everybody else. It's that kind of thing. It's like, it's very quiet, and this doesn't necessarily come and burst through your front door. You may have some old habit, old behavior, old thought pattern about something kind of resurface ever so gently, and before you realize it, it's like, hovering over you, and you're like, oh my God, I thought I beat this. Why is this here? This is just saying, hey, be aware. There's some old kind of crap coming up, and especially we're talking personal journeys and spiritual paths and awakenings. If you're really working on you and you're really working on where you're going and what your mindset is, this old shit just bursting on the scene, it can throw you for a loop. But the wonderful thing is that you have this Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is victory. So this says, hey, you know what? Just know this is out there. It's not going to beat you, but just know that it's out there. And it could just distract you from where you're trying to go. But you're trying to go here. You're trying to go to victory. So you know what? You don't let it take up residence. Just know. Be aware that it's there. Don't entertain it. Don't invite it in, but be aware. Now, you also have the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, you are the swords. You are intellectual, you are logical, and you like to keep it that way. And you know what? It's here. I'm like, I'm all flustered. I'm an Aquarius. And I see it so often in my own life too. When this stuff wants to kick back up, if you get emotional about it, it takes resonance. When you're logical, this gift is from the universe. You are the sword. You're an air sign. You're logical. When you're logical about it, what happens? You're like, that's stupid. Get away from me. I'm not eating that. I'm not doing that. I'm not drinking that. I'm not smoking. I'm not going to talk about this person. Whatever the case might be, whatever old shitty pattern and bad behavior or whatever old thing that is not good for you comes up, you see that and you go, oh, I'm not doing that, because you're logical. It's stupid. Don't do it. Okay? And you also have the King of Wands coming up here with the Six of Wands. So not only are you victorious in this one battle, but you're like, you end up here. Like, you end up as the king. I mean, this actually almost just showcases who you are. And that's what I want to say about that. And it showcases who you are. You end up winning the battle, and then you end up, I dare I say it, a lot of times winning the war. Like, you end up as the king. So go you. I would say this is the month especially to, if you are making different personal goals, fitness goals, different goals about what you will and will not accept in your life, this is the month to do it, because you will be able to beat down all that old negative crap and all that old stuff that just wants to show up and, wants to ruin. And look at this, Three of Wands. After you beat all that stuff down and you really figure out who the heck you are, because I feel like you're going to have a major freaking awakening. When that happens, you start making long-term plans. You start thinking, okay, what am I going to do next? What's next? What's the next thing I want? And then you have the Two of Pentacles show up. So there will be a slight rebalance. I feel like that Devil coming in it will wobble you a touch. I mean, it may throw you off for a second, but give me a break. It's not going to take you down, especially not with that Six of Wands and then that King of Wands. It won't take you down. It can. Nobody else will see it. That's the thing I want to point out. Nobody else will see it, but you might be like, whoa, it was freaking intense. It was some intense freaking stuff right there. Like I said, nobody else is going to see it, but inside you might be like, holy crap. You know what? You take that time. You rebalance, you handle it, you'll get yourself balanced out, but in the meantime, you're looking toward the future, and you're going, okay, what's next? And you know what, when you beat down something like that, I'm really excited for you, Aquarius. When you beat down some kind of nonsense like that, you're like, bring it on. What's next? What am I going to do next? Okay, what do we have here? We've got the Lovers coming up. So we're talking about, like, you're not necessarily doing this alone. You have a partner in crime, which is really great, because as Aquarians, you tend to be a little bit of a loner anyway. So the thought that you actually have someone who gets you, feels you, understands you, and is on your team is pretty freaking awesome. You don't need them, because you never need them. But just in case, they're nice to have there, right? Okay, and you know what I mean. I'm not saying that you don't need your spouse. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're mentally pretty tough and pretty strong, but it sure is nice to have that little bit of support now and then. We're going to just throw the Judgment card in there because it's one of my favorites. Just kind of came up, but this is the other thing. As you rebalance yourself from this, whatever you beat down and fight off and handle, do not tell yourself a bunch of stories, okay? Judgment is about seeing things the way that it really is, and also knowing that you've done everything you can do. But do not lie to yourself. Do not tell yourself it's never coming back. Do not tell yourself that you never will have to fight that battle again. This balancing act you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, and just don't lie to yourself and tell yourself you're not, because that will set you up to fail. So there is your intense Aquarius reading for personal journeys. All right, but I hope you enjoyed this. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much for watching.